Hello everyone, welcome to Data Gym Center once again. Today, as you can see here, we'll be starting the first tutorial in R. First, I just want to say a few things about R. The first question that comes to mind is, what is R? And the answer will be R is R. I mean the letter R. Sounds funny, I guess. If you come to this web page, this website, this R project website, this kind of gives you an idea of what R is about and what to expect down the line. Just an idea, just a few things about R, because R is an evolving language, so it involves new packages are made, new ways of doing things are put forward every day. So what is valid today may not be tomorrow. So it's a living language, so to speak. So you say R is a language, so it's a programming language. I want to add to that is a living programming language, so it means it evolves very fast. So and it's an environment for statistical computing and graphics. So you do some statistical analysis, some high-end statistical computing, and if you want to create good-looking graphics, publication-ready graphics, publication quality plots, you are in the right place if you want to do that. Just right out of the box, you can use R for that. So just the the take-home free from this first line is that R is a programming language, and I just quickly added that R is a living programming language, okay, and it's an environment for statistical computing and graphics. So the next line says it provides a wide variety of statistical techniques as well as graphical techniques. Okay, we have some linear, non-linear modeling, classical statistical tests like ANOVA, your regression, your t-test, and a bunch of other things. Time series analysis, classification, clustering, data mining, machine learning, and a bunch of other things that you can use R for. So R is is highly extensive. It means you can extend it beyond just beyond a technique. You can add your own extension to an already existing technique, or you can create a new one out of the box. Okay, so it's highly extensible. So it is amenable to change. It is flexible, so you can bend it anyhow you want it to achieve your specific objective. So one of the strengths that R has over other statistical software, especially when it comes to making good publication quality graphics, is that R can do it even better. So it does a lot of things. So one of the take-home from this tutorial is that R is free. So I remember someone asked me how much it costs, and I told her it's free, that you can just go download it, install, and use it right away. Okay, so you don't have any questions or anyone asking you what organization you belong to, what do you want to use the software for before you download. Other proprietary software would ask you questions like that. So R doesn't care, and it can be used on any of the platforms that are available on Linux, on Mac, on Mac OS, also on Windows as well. So it's an environment that can be used for effective data handling and storage, and a large amount of data sets. So now we are in an era In an era of big data analytics, where you have large data set, data chunks, every second, every microsecond. Okay, so R can be optimized to handle most of those kind of large data sets. So it has a large collection of tools for data analysis, any kind of modeling you want to do, even for genomic analysis. It's a bunch of things that R can actually do for you, depending on what you want to use it for. I think one of the easiest things to do, one of the best ways to know what R can do for you is in your specific field or whatever you want to do, just Google it, R for this, R for that. You will see a lot of information about what R can help you, how R can help you in that regard. He said many users think of R as a statistical system, but this group, these CRAN people, these R project people, prefer to think of it as an environment within which statistical techniques are implemented. Like I said earlier, R can be extended via packages where people can write functions, a series of instructions, step-by-step instruction that they pass into R, they run it, and to achieve a specific objective. For instance, the function mean, you know what it means. You take the average for instance, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You take the average of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can, the algorithm behind the mean is you taking the average and then dividing by the number of occurrence. Okay, average 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You add them together and divide by 5. That is the mean. So something happens behind the scene when you use mean. When you use mode, when you use that is histogram, when you use boxplot, when you use other things, a lot of things happen behind the scene that you don't see. So those things are actually functions that people write to carry out those specific tasks. Okay, so R can do a lot of things. So let's not just talk too much. So we want to jump right into R. First thing is how to get R into your machine. Here you come to this website, this cran.r project.org, so R project. So the cran here, or you can just type cran R or cran R into Google, and you'll be taken to this page. Okay, and then when you get to this page, the first thing is to determine which system you have, which operating system you have. If you are using a Linux system, you can click on this and you get instruction on how to get it. If you are using a Mac, this. If you are using Windows, this. For me, I'm using Windows, so for most of my listeners, if you are using Windows, then you'll be doing it right if you follow these Windows, these simple instructions. So you click on Windows. Here you have this link here saying install R for the first time. When you click on it, it will take you to this link where it will ask you download this version of R. So this link will actually take you to the latest version of R. So if you actually want something later than 3.6, so you can click on previous releases. So it will take you to those previous releases of R. Here it tells you what day, the month they were released, and the year. Okay, these are the very different versions. Excuse me. So when you are done installing your R, you probably will be seeing something like this. Okay, when you're done installing it, you see there's a version of R that I have that I'm using right now, and it tells you R is free software and comes with absolute no warranty, so you don't have to sue them if it doesn't work for your specific situation. And it tells you it's a collaborative project with many contributors. So we have a lot of contributors. If you want to know how many people contribute to the project R, you can click on it. You can just copy this over here and paste, and you see those who are contributing. So These are the names of the people who are contributing to making these R work for you and I. So group of people. So if you want demos, you can click on demos to see demos. If you want help, you can click on help and a bunch. And if you want to quit R, it's either you click on this close tab, or you just type Q and then you open and close the parentheses and you press enter, and then or the return key, and then you are good to go. It closes. Okay. One of those things, okay, let's just do something. So let's see what kind of data set you have in R. So how, like in SAS, SAS comes with a lot of data set for practice, for demo. R also comes with a lot of data set for demo as well. So for you to have access to or to have an idea of the list of the data set that R comes with, you just type data and then open and close the parentheses and just say enter, and this pops up to tell you, okay, these are the various data set that R comes with out of the box. Right out of the box, we have the air passengers. These are monthly airline passenger numbers from 1949 to 1960. And then you have BOD, biochemical oxygen demand. That's a kind of data set. So if you want to have access to this data set right out of the box, for instance, we want to have access to, want to use this data set called iris or iris3. So let's just type iris3. We're interested in iris3. You just come over here to say, okay, I want data, and in parentheses iris3. Okay, you close it, and then so the data is now available to you, or you can just type iris3 and just press enter. The data will be displayed. So the next thing is for you to just type iris3 to display the data set. So let's just load this up. So here you have the data set. So for these you have this, for the sample you have this. So let's do that for iris1, just iris. So for you to do that, one good thing about R is that sometimes you don't need to type many times. So once you have typed, if you are pretty much doing the if you want to use the same code or the same line, of course, lines of code that you've typed, one of those things is just to press this up button. So it shows you the last command that you just ran, and then I want to run only iris. I just remove the 3 and then press this. I press enter, and then I have access to the iris dataset. So it tells you the sepal length, sepal width, pet length, petal width, and then the species of flower. So we have setosa, we have vesicola, and then we have virginica. Okay, this is the dataset that comes out of the box in R. So for instance, if you want to if you want an histogram for this sepal length, you can, you want an histogram for this. To do that, to get the histogram, you can you just say east and then open. What's the name of the dataset? Iris, and then you put a $sign. What do you want? What I just copied, and then so I want you from this data set, I want you to give me the histogram for these variable here. So you press enter, then you should see this pop up. Okay, this is the histogram for, oh sorry about that, this is the histogram for that sepal length. Okay, it tells you, oh, iris sepal length you have from 4, the data ranges from 4 to 8, and then if you want this sepal length for instance, if you want to change the color, so what you need to do, like I told you, you don't have to retype it anymore. Just press the upward R and then just come in here with the comma and then say call equals, I want the color orange, and no, I have to put it in double quote, so orange, and I close it again. Okay, it's closed already. So I just click, I just press enter. Okay, here I have it. Okay, so you can just play with it. So you may decide to change. Okay, let's change the color again. Let's go to this active window, and then let's change the color to blue. Blue. Okay. So you can change it. So let's do that for separ width instead of the separ length. Okay, let's do the orange for separ width. First we need to, okay, width is in capital letter, so width, this, okay. You see, now it's pretty much it's close to normal. So you have the distribution from the data range is from 2 to 4, so you have, I think, from 2 to, yeah. Then you have the frequency. So this is just to start with. So if you want a box plot, so you can have a box plot. You have a box plot of same dataset iris, and then iris. You have a dollar sign. You have separ. I think I copied it before. Separ length. Okay. Yeah, you have this, so you can do for others as well. Okay. So let's try to see if we can replicate this. If these for iris, okay, this okay, let's see if we're able to, okay, now we have two. Okay, so we have two variables. Okay, we have now we have one for, I think this one is for the width and this one is for the length. Okay, so that's it for this R. So for this R interface, you can do a lot of things with it. So one of the things that that makes R a little bit difficult for some who are coming into who would want to learn R for the first time is that they think R is very difficult to learn, and then you have to write code, you have to do a lot of things. So yeah, you have to type code, you have to write codes, and what makes it a little more difficult is that all these things has to be on different windows. You have these on a different window, you have the code, you have to type the code in here. But if you actually want the code in a different environment window, you can type this, and almost all what we've done here, you can just copy them over to that and then just run it from there. Okay, I'll copy this over, just remove all this thing that I added, these greater than signs, and then you are ready to go. So if you want to run the first one, you just need to press Ctrl R. Okay, it runs it for you, generates that for you. So let's run the second one. It runs that, and then it generates you remember we changed it to orange, so let's change it to blue, and it moves immediately to the next line. So you can just do that. So there is something called R Studio that combines all these different parts that you would have to do independently, that combines it into a single integrated development environment called IDE, or an interface where you can easily have access to all of these various parts. So it's called R Studio. Okay, let's just keep this active, or we just close it. No, I don't want this. So R Studio is used as an integrated development environment for R. It has a console, it has a syntax highlighting editor, that supports a lot of things, so you can write your code, you can do a lot of things with it. So for you to use R effectively and efficiently, I would recommend that you download RStudio. So you can just type RStudio on Google, and then the first item or the first result will be this, and then you can just go to download, come to download the free version. You can choose which system you want here. For Windows 7 and above, you can take this. For Mac OS 10 and above, take this. For Ubuntu, Linux OS, and others, you can choose which one fits your demand. Okay, and then you can just install it. Once you are done installing, you will see something like this. Okay, this is the prompt. Remember, I read this to you the first time when I showed you the art. This is the version that I'm using right now. It was released in March, so on the 11th of March this year, 2009, and also telling you it's free. And the demo, you remember we used the contributors. The demo, no, we didn't use the demo. So you can also use this to quit, and you can also ask for help here, or you can type the help here. You can come here for help and just type your topic here. So if you need anything, just type it. Okay, so okay, let me just clear this. So like I said, you see something like this. You have this kind of environment where you have this kind of environment where you keep track of your data set. Here you can view your files, you can view your plots. Those graphics we were viewing, the histogram and the boxplots, you can actually view them here. And if you want to export them, you can just save them as PDF, or just copy them to clipboard and save and paste them to any destination file or whatever that you want to use them in. So this is pretty much the interface that you see when you install your RStudio for the first time. So let's just go from here. The file are the various tab here. The first one is file. If you go to file, you can see a lot of things. You can write a new R script. Oh, sorry about that. A little too fast. So you can write a new R script. You can write R notebook, R markdown, shiny R, plumber API. You can actually do some Python scripting here, SQL scripting, span file. You can do R weave, sweave. You can do presentation. You can actually do, like your PowerPoint. You can do it in R. So there's a lot of things you can do. So you can publish whatever you're doing. So here you edit, nothing much going on here. Here you have the code session, here you have the plot, here you have the session. Okay, this session you can restart your R, you can terminate R, you can suspend R session, you can load a workspace. This is your workspace. You can save it. If you don't want everything to disappear when you closing it, you can just save the workspace whenever you want to load. You just click on this. So you can use this to save the workspace. You can use this to clear. You can use this to quit the current session, and a bunch of other things. You can use this tool to install packages, check for packages. For package updates, you can use it to create, open a new terminal or open the shell. If you have some add-ins on your RStudio, you can actually use them. So for instance, you have some add-ins. So you have the snap helper for the SNA helper for what's it called? I think it's social network analysis or something like that. We have for network building, so and a bunch of other things. So to start with, we'll do one thing here. The interface is just this, and I don't want this kind of white interface. It's too I don't really like. I want something cool. I want a cooler color, so I will just come here to tools. I'll come to global options. Okay, global options. Here you have under basic, you come to general. Here tells you this is the R version that I'm running, and you can click on this to change your R version. So I have 3.6 that I'm not running for some reason, because I had a program that was, when I was doing some analysis, it wasn't doing well, so I had to change it before it worked. So this is where we're going. Actually, we want to come here to this appearance. So by default, we are giving this theme, text mate. So by default, we are giving this theme. So we want to look for a different theme that kind of fits what you desire. So this is I don't really like this, so I want something cooler. So let me just go straight to what I normally use. I use Cobalt. This is fantastic. No, yes, I like it, so you may not like it. So just come here, choose what fits your demand, what you actually want, and then click on it. Click it and say apply, and then it has changed now. And you say okay, now we are very good to go. Okay. Here you have the console. This is actually where most of these work happens, where the codes are run, where you run the code. This way you see the results. You can also keep tabs of whatever you do. Like in SaaS, you have your log. It kind of logs whatever you do, whether you do it right or not. It logs it. And here, if you click on history keep tabs of everything you've done so far. Most of the codes you've run, the good ones and the bad ones, they are all shown here under history. Okay. You have this window here. You have for files. I told you, if you want to have access, direct access to your you want to have direct access to your to your folder or your working directory, you can use this. For plots, to visualize your plot, you can also actually move it up to see what's going on. For packages, you can here you can actually see all the packages that I have installed, and you can install new ones by saying install, and then you can type the name of the package and just say install. Okay. Or you can click on update to update your packages. You can click for help. Here you can click on help and then just type whatever you want R to help you about, and then here is viewer. So let's bring it back to normal. So this is an environment where you view your workspace, where you view your data set or whatever action you perform that will require it to be stored. Okay, that is where you actually view it. So what else? So let's come here to file and open a new script, R script. So now this is now 4, because this is where you type your code. Remember what we did in the previous, where we had to open a different window. So this kind of unify or integrate all the different windows into one. You can have access to all at once. You don't have to kind of individually look at all the different windows. Okay. So let's continue. What can we do? A lot. Okay. You can just start typing your code. Remember, we use the dataset iris, so you can type data. The good thing is this one has autocomplete. It tells you, oh, data. So if you say yes, if you press enter, it will automatically put the parentheses for you, and then you can just type iris. Okay. Then it tells you, oh, iris is in datasets. Yes. Which iris do you want? Iris 2? No, iris or iris 3? I want iris. Okay. Excuse me, please. And then you can just, so here on this tab you have here is for you to open as well. Instead of you coming here to new and everything, you can come right here on this button. You can click on this to have access to whatever you want to do. Okay, to just create whatever you want to do. So if you want to create a Mac down, R Markdown, you want to create a notebook, or you want a new script, you can just click on that. So this is R project, if you want to create a project. So which means if you have if you're analyzing your data set, for each of the data sets you're analyzing, if you are doing a routine data analysis, for each of the data analysis you're doing, you have to create as a project. Okay, project A, project this, project B, project C. So you can create a project here that will create a folder for you where you can work exclusively from. Okay, and here you can open whatever. Here I've run a few codes in the past, so I can open these to just have access to that code directly. So here you want to save. If you want to save, if you open multiple documents, like for instance you have many R script open, or you have R markdown, a bunch of things open. Okay, let me just open a new one so that you can see what I mean. So here, so it keeps, so it's in tabs here. So this first one, the second one, you can have 10 of them opened. If you want to save everything, you can just say, you click on this, it will save everything for you. But if you want to save this particular one, it's only this that you click on. Okay. If you want to print the current file, I've not used that before, so you can use it. Here you can also show whatever we're doing. For instance, here you can show it in a new window. If you want it to be, if you want to show it in a new window, you can just click on this and start typing in the new window. This will kind of mirror what we've seen in the previous case, where, I mean, that is pretty much why we want an integrated environment for that. Okay, so we don't want this anymore. Just click on delete it, and that is gone. You see, it's gone here. Okay, so before you do anything, you should save it. Okay, you should save whatever you need, I mean, you are doing, and then save it, and then you can be rest assured that whenever it closes or accidentally also, you still have access to your information. Okay, here you have you want to find and replace. Here, if you want to check your codes, here a list of some shortcut. For instance, if you want to comment your code, if you want to uncomment them, you can have access to, I mean, you can do it by following one of these shortcuts. And here you have what we call, if you want to compile a report, you have, for instance, I have, you remember what we did the last time? So we have a data, we have iris. Okay, we have, oh sorry, iris. And then next thing we did was we want histogram. Okay, we want histogram of iris, this, and sepal. Okay, that is already there, so it recognizes that. And the next thing was histogram. So you see, it gives you that. Sepal. Oh no, sepal. Oh no, iris. Iris. Sepal width. Okay. And then what did we do again? We did boxplot. So before you even type it, it gives you that. So we want iris. This, and then we want, okay, let's say sepal length. Yeah, sepal length. Okay, the first one. Okay, that makes it a little easier. You see the difference. The other time I had to type everything. Now it gives you kind of prompts. So auto complete completes it for you even before you start. I mean, you type it to the end. So now we have three things that I did here. First, First, I call the dataset. I want it to be available. So when I run this, it should be available, and then I can just type iris to bring the data to my workspace. So let's do it. So you click on this to run. In SAS, it's also pretty much in the same position. You can just click on this to run. Okay. You see, now it's creating an empty frame. So yeah, I can just type iris, and then you have it. Okay. When I click run this code, I don't need to highlight this. In SAS, you need to highlight to run, but in this case, I can just put it in this line, and then you run, and the data is available. You see now the data is available. If I want to view it, I can click on this data set here. You see the data set is available here now, so you can view it and close it. So you want the histogram. See, you can actually drag this up to see it very well. So this is the histogram. You see, now I don't have to view it in a different window. But if you actually want to zoom it, if you want to make it bigger, you can just zoom this. See, it's large now, so you can close it and it goes back to the normal. Then you can do that for the same thing for the other one. Okay, so here we added color. You remember the last time we added color. Color equals this opens and close it for you, or red. So let's put red and let's run it. Okay, now we have it. So you can just tell color red and color green, color yellow. So you can, you see, if you color yellow or whatever color you want. So you can say light green. So light green. Okay, as it. So you have a box plot. Yeah, single box plot for this variable only. For this variable, if you want another one, you can just do this iris. This you want $, and you want sepal length, petal length. So let's run this. You see what happens. So for this is okay. Let's do something. Let's just copy this over and see what will happen here. Okay, let's do something. So I want this. I want light green, light red. Let me see if that works. So let's see if it will assign. Okay, now so call is this. Okay, tells you. Okay, so unexpected comma, so don't need a comma here. Okay, whatever the case, we should be good to go. Let's be good to go with the first one, and then let's continue. So maybe down the line we would have to come. Okay, it's only giving the light green. Okay, so since we didn't mention it here, it doesn't really recognize that. So let's just make do with what we have initially, and then we continue with that much later. Okay, so this is it. You can just play around with it. So you see, there's no limit to what you can do. So if you want to import your data set, if you are bringing your data set in, the first thing for you to do would be to first create what we call a working directory, a folder where you can work off from, where you can actually do some work from. Okay, one of the easiest ways to do that is for you to come to this session, and then you come to set working directory, then click on choose working directory. Okay, it opens up and so okay, where is my folder where my stuffs are. I actually have something just R, so I'm deleting it. I'm creating a new one called just R as well. So I'm creating a new folder, just R, and then I want to open it. Ooh. Okay, the system cannot find the path, so it actually was looking for the new one that I created. Okay, let's come back here, choose directory, and then you come to where you want the directory to be. This new one that we just created. Just yeah, you open, and then you say open. Here you are. Okay, so it created for you and gives you the new directory. And just copy it over here, or you type it yourself. So this is the new directory. So this is actually where you can store your files, your data set, and every other thing, or your graphics. If you create graphics here, you can send it to this directory. So for instance, if I need to this data set here, if I want to send it into R, I want to export it into R, into a CSV file or an Excel file, a text file. So okay, let's say for instance you want to write it into CSV file. You just what you need to do is just to say write. It gives you a lot of options, but this I'm going to use only CSV. And what's the name of the data set is iris. What name, what directory? We already set a directory here. If it is not set, you can use the entire directory. You can just copy this and the full path, the absolute path. You can copy this and put it here in parentheses as it is here, or you can just specify the name of the file and R will figure out where to put it. If you haven't set a working directory, I think it just throws it into your document folder where you can find it. But here we've set a working directory. Let's see what we get. Okay. Now you see here where you see files, it's already said that for us that this is our working directory. For now, there is no file in that working directory, no single file in that working directory. So we are going to send this iris dataset into this directory, and you will see it right here too. So it's E, which is the what's it called? Where the flash drive, and then we have the folder and then the new folder that I just created. Okay, so now I'm sending this data set. I want to send it into CSV file. So I want to call it iris when it gets there. So it is going to be this iris dot CSV. Okay, now I have iris.csv, and that's all. You can just send it, but sometimes R kind of adds numbers to it, so the row numbers is added, so like 1 to 3 to whatever you want to save. So for that, you can just tell R to just not remember our row name, so you say false. You can say F, or you type it completely. Oh, sorry, SE. You can say F or T or whatever. By default is true. Okay, by default it writes it. So but if you don't want the row names to be included, you can just put it, set it to false. So then let's run this and see what happens. So the data set is already created here now. So let's come here to where we have it and go back to here. You see our data set is here. iris.csv. So let's come here to not here to this. You see, it's our data set. So let's open it to be sure that everything was. As you can see, here is our data set. So that we just imported. So this is that we exported. This is your file. So let's assume we kept or we just use the default settings. So let's just delete these. Or the best way, one of those ways to, what you can do here is just to copy this over, add this pound sign and paste. So what happens here is that this pound sign, whenever R encounters this pound sign, it knows that whatever follows it is going to be a comment. As you can see here, the color here is different. You see, the normal text you write in is this. When you in SAS, you see when you are using a label or anything is in pink. It's usually in pink in SAS here. Because of the theme that I chose, I have it as green. And wherever I have comments in SAS, you have it as pink. Is it pink? So here I also have it as I have it as blue here, I guess. So yeah, blue. So let's just run the defaults. I will show you what it does. Okay, let's just run it again. So it's already there. So what happens is that it's going to replace this by default. So let's go back here and run it to open it. There are a lot of headings, so that's why it's taking so long to open. So I think I have to disable some of those headings that are not I don't actually use that much. Okay, let's wait for it to open. It's taking longer than necessary. Okay. Okay, so that is what happens. Okay, you see what I was saying? I disabled it because I don't want this 1, 2, 3 to appear. Okay, this one will be added to it if you leave it use the default. So let's close it and let's go back to R. So what you just need to do is just to copy this over and put it here. So you separate the next action by a comma. See, this separated by a comma, this, and then this. Okay, this is assumed. We're assuming here that you already set the working directory. Okay, we're assuming here you've already set the working directory. That's why you have it here. If you haven't set it yet, then you can just copy the entire path to the folder, just paste, and then put a // and that will also save it in that path as well. So in that folder as well. So let's just back off a little. So that's it for these just running a few examples in R. Another thing we want to do is to import. Okay, we want to install package. Okay, let's just do something. Let's import that same data set that we exported. Let's import it. Let's clear it here, so it's no longer available. So we want to import it. There are a lot of ways you can import. You can read CSV. Before you do that, you need to install a package. Okay, you want to read CSV, so you want to, let's say the data name is Iris. You want to assign whatever you do here, this data, to the name Iris. So this is an assignment symbol. So you want to assign it to use the function read CSV. Okay, and then you want the CSV to be excuse me. So if you hover over this function, you will see what is saying. Okay, here is saying the file. You have to include the file, and then you have to see whether either it's true or not, and the separator. Okay, you want to say separated by a comma separated value, or it is whatever. So, but in this case is a comma separated value. So here we need to first type where our data set is in this. It is called iris.csv. Then outside that we say a comma. So we say header equals true. It's either you write a T or and then sep by this comma. Okay, let's just run it. So you see, in our workspace we don't have any data set here anymore. Okay, so since we don't, to be sure we don't have any data set here anymore, let's do what we did here previous time. Let's run the histogram, because the histogram required this data set for it to work. So if we don't have any error notification here, then we know that the data set is still there. Okay, so if we do have error notification, it means the data set has been deleted, just as I did earlier. So let's run it. Oh, it's fine. I think it's in the memory. Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it. So the reason is the data set is automatically available, so it doesn't have to be here before it can be. It will be available to R. Okay, so it's already available by default. So that's why you still get this. Here. So if it is a data set like you important, okay, let's just import iris1. Okay, now we are importing iris1. Let's just run this. You see everything ran fine, and then we have our data set called iris1, which is the same data set as the one we exported. Okay, you remember, you see this our x is added as a new variable because we are exporting this what we are interested in 1 2 3 4 5. Because of the way we exported it, we had another problem to it, which another column to it, which we don't actually want. Okay, for you to remove that, you should rerun this code again. If you rerun this code again, that should be fine. Let's rerun this code again, and then we rerun it. Let's re-import our data set and see what happens. So if you go here, we now have 5 variables, which will be the 4 numerical variables and 1 character variable, which is in the species. So we have here, you see it's gone because of the way we imported it. So we don't actually need it, so we want it gone. So back to this is how you import your you can type the code, just write the code, and you can do that. Another way to import that, let's delete this. Okay, let's leave it. We'll be leaving. So another way to import it is to come here. Where is import here? Anyway, okay, import dataset. Okay, from where? You get text, easy from a text file of text, read R, Excel. These are the different formats of data R can read directly without having any problem. So depending on any of these formats, R has a set of functions that handles whatever comes with those data set without any problem. So pretty much like in SAS, where you have to specify if you are importing a text file, you have some few modifications to make. If you are importing a CSV file, if you are importing an Excel file, or even if you are importing a dataset from a dataset from a database, okay, like Access or MySQL or SQL. Either way, you would have to tell SAS what to do so that SAS can use the right function to import that. The same way you have to do that here. So you can use this import, or you can just come here, the tab here. You can just click on this and it takes you directly, because here we are going to be using this to import the data set. You just click on this to import the CSV file. Click on this. Okay, it takes some few seconds to boot. Yeah, because I'm doing a lot of things on my computer, so it's kind of slowing it down. So you see, this uses a package called read R. Okay, the library, so it has to run this library, read R, and then CSV dataset CSV. So it's giving the name dataset. So we want to say iris 2. Okay, so we don't want that dataset to be. So we want to navigate to where the dataset is. So we want to navigate to where the dataset is. This dataset here. We want to open it. Okay, so we just want to. Where is it? Okay, it's retrieving the dataset. Okay, retrieving. Okay, and preview. So these are our dataset. So we preview. Oh, everything is fine. Then you see now it was null before. Now it has given it a name. Okay, because that is the real name of the dataset. So it's iris. So if you actually copy this code over and close this, you can use this code to import the data. Okay, without any problem. So if you use this, so there are 2 things here that you will notice. You discover that with the function we use here is different. Where we use read.csv, this one use read_csv, because it has we have a new package that does it better than using the base read.csv. Okay, so let's do it and do it so you can see. So now we are done providing the information. What do you provide? You can change the name here to iris 2. You can, you come here to browse to the file or to the data set that you want to import, and then the name here, and the name is iris 2. So it's a delimited file or separated file. The first row is a name. Remember, we use heads. Header equals true, which means in R, in SAS, it's the same thing as get names equals yes. Okay, same thing as get names equals yes. So we import. Now we have it. Okay, it imports it for us, and we're able to view it without any problem too. So we have two data sets, the same thing, the same number of observations, the same number of variables. Okay, two different data type. Okay, this is a data frame. Yeah, this is a different. So I think you can you have access to it directly too, so that's fine. So now we've seen how to export and import data sets from SAS. So the data set we just worked with now, we just imported, we just send it directly from R to Excel, and then to CSV, a CSV file, and then bring it back into R. Okay, that's just it's going to be a little lengthy introduction because I want you to get just the basic information that you need to start off well with R. Okay, so we are good to go here. So the next thing is how to import a package, how to install a package. Remember, we used a package here called readr. Okay, readr. So for us to install a package, you can either say install dot. When you say dot, it already gives you some suggestions, packages, and you can either use double quote or you can leave your double quote or just write the name of the package, readr. Okay, and you are good to go. So just highlight or just put your cursor right in the middle or anywhere, and on the same line as the code you want to run, and just click on run, and something will, object reader not found. Okay, let's just enclose it and see whether. Okay, when we enclose it, it tells me, oh, I have to, no, I don't want to quit this session. So it goes down to here. It's okay, installing the package, and it's going to actually download it from the internet. Okay, so if you look at this button here, this red button, it means what you're doing is in progress. It's being installed right now. Oh, this is not installed. Oh, because I'm using it right now. So if I don't need it, I can just come over here to the name of the package. I can type it or just read R. Where's the package? Read R. Because I'm using it, it cannot install it. So it doesn't want. I can just delete it. So yeah, I want to detach it. So it's removed so that we can just see how to get it. So now, so you can normally, one of those things that we learn that works very fine is to comment on our code. So we want to install package, install a package or package. Okay, we can comment on our code. Here we can comment to export. So we say export CSV, or rather export to CSV file. So here we say import CSV file. Okay, we have imported a CSV file, and here we haven't saved it here, so let's save it to our folder here. Let's save our code here into this folder that we created to our working directory. So you click on save. This thing pops up. This is where we want to save it. We just need to give it a name, iris, not the CSV. Iris, just leave it. R, we name it as R. Okay, by the time you say save, R, we had that .r extension. You see it here, .r extension has been added. So you are good to go now. Anytime you use it, so you see now the button save here is no longer active. It means it is saved. If I make a change here, for instance, and delete the E and put it back, you see this one is active. So if it is not active, it means everything is fine, everything is saved. Okay, now it is saved. So let's run the install. Let's install the package. No, I don't want anything to be to change. So I think it's going to download it from the internet, and then You see, now it's downloading direct from the internet. So it's just 1.5 megabytes. So it is successfully installed. We cannot remove the prior installation, so it's already installed. So of read R. Okay, now it's fine. So if you come here, you can just type read R to see that package. I think my system is running a little slow. Okay, read R. Okay. Yeah, I guess read. Yeah, I think it's not installed yet. Okay, yeah, because I said no to what it was instructing me to do. Anyway, here's how to install it. Another way to do just the same thing is just to come here to install. When you come to the tab packages, you come here to install. I'll just leave your default, because when it will install it in default. You see default library. So I just type R read R. Okay, so it is read drop R read R. So just click on this and say install. That is much easier, a little easier than. So it tells you one or these packages will be updated for this installation. So that's why I don't really see it over here. So if I say yes, so it's going to do a little few tricks, and then install my dataset. Start a new R session. So let's see if we still see this notification that a previous installation of R was not okay. Now it's fine, no problem. So here we had cannot remove prior installation. So let's come back here and type our read R. It should be installed. Okay, now see it here. So that's it. So you can, to load the package is pretty much written commands that contain specific instructions. It can be your code, or it can also be data set that are packed together. That's what the word package comes from. Okay, the word package comes from a package of series of information that you put together that will be made that you want. That is one of the easiest ways to share your code. So you want to share it to others, so you just package them into a single how do I put it? It's like zipping. Okay, you have like 5 files and you want to send everything. You want to send them to a friend. All you need to do is just zip them together, send it. That is much easier than sending the individual files. Okay, so in this case, you have to pack all those your functions together, and then put it out for others to use. So if you install the package, you do this. So, but to make it available for others to use for the current R session, the fact that you install it doesn't mean it's readily available as soon as you get it installed. No, you have to make it available to the R session, to this current R session. Okay, load. So now we have to just comment. We want to load package. Oh, sorry, I double load. What's wrong with me? Okay, you load the package, and then to load the package, you say library. Okay, it's already there. What package do you want to load? Read R. Okay, and then you run it, then it will be available to you. Now it's available to you. Before now it wasn't. So now you can also say require. Okay, and just type in it gently so that you can see. Okay, it pops up. You say yes. Require read R. Okay, now it's either you use this or you use this. Both are fine. Another way to do that is, okay, I'm detaching it. Okay, it's detached, so it means you can't. It's not available. It's no longer available anymore. You have to attach to make it available, but if you detach it, it's no longer available. So one of the other ways to make it available is just to come over here and just check it. You see, it's available. You say library. I just checked it and it said library. Okay, let me uncheck it. detach. So when I checked it again, it's a library R, which is pretty much what we did here. Okay, you can either use this or that. So the last thing I'm going to talk about that would be very helpful. Oh, before I go to that, would be help. So if you need help, you can just type. For instance, you need help with maybe t-test. You can just type t-test and then run and just press enter. So yeah, maybe can. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, so you have series of okay, you just blow it up and just scroll it up to see which one matches whatever you want to do, and then you can just click it to read more about it. So let's go to the first item on the list. Is additivity test, vignette, and this and whatever. So you can just click is either the R code for this or the source code or the HTML. Let's read the HTML. It tells you what it does. Okay, so this is you require this and this and that, so you can just read for information. Okay, let's clear it and then let's bring this back to. So the last thing we want to do here, which is very important, is that you would have to patiently look at this, wait for this to happen. Is if you are coming in from a software environment like SPSS or so, you may find it a little difficult. I mean, that's one of the drawbacks for those who are coming into R for the first time, is that R doesn't feel or look like your SPSS. But there is a way around that you can use R. You can play with R and actually use your graphical user interface, your GUI, like you have in Excel or Minitab, or so. I mean, sorry, like you have in Excel, of course, that you also have in SPSS and your Minitab or some other software. So one of the easiest ways to do that, to get that, to actually make R, to open the GUI, the graphical user interface for R, is to install a package. Okay, we want to install a package. We want to just click on install, and the name of the package is R Commander. Okay, RCMDR. Okay, when you click on this, say okay, install. So it's installing that. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. To let it finish installing. So now if I click install, remember I click install. I also check this install dependencies, because if the package has a lot of dependencies like this one, I just type this, it's also installing these miscellaneous. Okay, RCMDR miscellaneous. So these are additional packages that it will need to function very well, because there are a lot of things that this R commander does that it will have to require or depend on other packages to run efficiently. So that is why you have to check these install dependencies. So now we have installed our package, so let's call the package. So we are going to just come here and do it the non-conventional way, R commander. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, let's come over here. Load R commander package. So it's just a library. So we have R commander. So it's already there for you. Now you can load it. Yeah. In your case, it may ask you that whenever you launch this, it will launch a small window will pop up and ask you that, oh, you know what you're going to do requires more packages. Do you want them to be installed? Just follow the default. Okay, just go just follow the default. Don't change it. Just say yes, and then it will install the remaining packages for you. Okay, so let's just say library. Just watch what happens. You see, when I say library, I'm loading this, but this one depends on a lot of other packages. So it's loading splines, it's loading miscellaneous, it's loading data, car data, it's loading sandwich, it's loading effect, it's loading other the theme effect themes, and then you have this GUI. You see, this is a graphical user interface for R. You see now, so we are still going to be using the same information that we used in the previous step. Let's just save this. Yeah, let's save this. So we are going to use that. So so what do we do now that we are here? So if you check the tab, you have a lot of things that can be done. You edit the dataset statistics, different statistics that you can run. You can run summary statistics. Excuse me, please. You can run summary statistics. You can run contingency table, Gency tables. Sorry about that. You can run for means. You can run single sample t-test, independent sample t-test, pair t-test, one way or another, multiple way or another, multi-way or another. So for proportions, you have this. For variances, to test for quality of variance. For non-parametric test, you have the Wilcoxon test. You have Kawalis and others. You have for dimensional analysis, you have principal component, you have factor, you have for cluster analysis, you have k-means, hierarchical clustering and others. And to fit a model, you have linear regression model, you have linear model, you have generalized linear model, you have multinomial logic model, you have ordinal, you have generalized linear mixed model. Okay, is where a model kind of require you to specify body fixed and the random effect. Okay, so now we want to import our dataset. We don't need to import any dataset directly. We are going to be using the dataset that is in the packages. That is the same dataset that we use, that we exported into a CSV file, we imported back into R. Okay, so we are coming here to data in packages. So we want to either way is fine. So we can come here to just say data iris. Okay, the dataset iris is already available, so you need to say submit. Okay, let's go. You can it used to be that you see the output here in the past, but now I think it has been shifted to this. So now you can have the output here instead. Okay, while you run it here, you have the output here. But one of the downside to this R commander is that sometimes it crashes because you are kind of doing an external call, an external library call, so it kind of crashes. So it's not you can't use it for large data sets. So, but for someone just coming in, you can practice with it and just get a feel of how what R is. Okay, so we are going to okay, now we have this. The data is not active, so we need to just call it again. We need to say iris, and then we can say submit. Okay, let's see. Now we have the dataset active. Okay, dataset is active. Let's see. Oh, it's saying the data. Okay, we are viewing it here again, so there's no problem. Okay, error. There's no active dataset. Okay. Okay, the reason is this. I should have done that directly from here. So from datasets, we say iris. So enter name. So let's just say iris. Okay, yeah, we have our iris. Okay, now we have our iris. Just say enter. Yeah, iris already exists. You want to overwrite it? Yes. So now we have our package. So we have our dataset. So what I should have done before, rather than do what I did, was just to tell it where you should get it from this package dataset. So the data is there. So when you run it, everything now is active, so you can view it. You can click here to view it here. Okay, now you have 50 rows and 5 columns. So now you have a window with your dataset. Okay, now what you can do here is to if you see, most of those are not active before, now they are active. So if you want to do table of statistics, you want to do numerical summaries, you can just see for all your variables. So you can just click on this by group species, and then you can just say okay. So it does that for you. Numerical summary, the data hierarchies, and then you see the columns. You have the columns, this, and then yeah, it computes the mean, the standard deviation for you, then the quarter range, the quantiles, and a bunch of other statistics. So you can see it here. So you see the result is here. Okay, let me just blow this up a little so you can see the results. Okay, here you have the results. So the mean for those species, for these the mean is this, for Virginica the mean is this. The mean is always higher for this Virginica, and most of those parameters that were estimated. Okay, now the next thing is we did that already. So what we do again is let's go to see if let's just do a simple linear regression. We want to name of the linear regression reg iris, and we want to, the response is we want to see whether okay, let's just cancel this. Let's do something differently. I think let's let's compute the means. Let's say one way ANOVA. Okay, one way ANOVA. You see, automatically it loads when I launch the one way ANOVA, it loads these libraries for me. It means I'm ready to go. So I'm picking a group here, and I can pick only one here. Okay, it's one way. So I want pairwise comparison between my means. So I just say okay, and now it gives me this table for where this family-wise 95% family-wise confidence interval, and it compares each of those species. Okay, vesicular versus this versus this. So, and let's come here. We see the, and then it kind of gives you what is it? Okay, this is the formula here. So it's AOV petal length by species. You want to see whether there are differences in the petal length in response to the species that and then this is the data set, and then here you have the p-value for those differences. Here you have the t-test, the t-statistic for those tests, and then you have confidence interval. I think you have your confidence interval, the lower and the upper, for each of them. And here it actually gives you your ABC, your difference. Okay, A is is different from B and BC. So A is Setosa, B is this, C is Virginica. So it means they are statistically different. Okay, significantly different, so to speak. Also, you can, as you can see here, the difference between these and these give us a t statistic of 47.5, and then the value was this. Okay, it's highly significant. So it tells you here is highly significant, here is significant, here is significant, here is not significant. Okay, and it gives you your ABC. Okay, your letters to tell whether it is significant or not. So here you can, so let's draw a graph of histogram. Remember we drew histogram, so the other time we may either plot it by the species, which is easier in this case, or add in the option here you can give it the name for the x axis, the title of the graph, and also the y axis. You can also specify the axis scaling, whether you want densities or you want percentages. Okay, so but in this case we just need to go with the default, and then we want to plot it by group, by species, and then you'll see by group, by species. So I just say okay, then you have this for each of the species. Did you get that? Okay, so by default the color is set to what? Is set to dark gray. Okay, let's just say dark green in this case now. So just say green. So we can just highlight this and submit. So that's how easy it is. Okay, so let's say light green, and then just highlight this and submit. Okay, let's view it here. It's light green. Now we are good to go. That's fine. It's beautiful. So like I told you, this is very important because this is a kind of a little one of those steps that can actually launch you into getting more interested in R. So what we did here was, when we do anything, it generates the code for you. The codes that generate that histogram, this is the code. You can actually take this code into the other side and into the main R here, and then okay, let's see if we have, okay, here are the codes. Now you can just copy them from the history, or you can just save this code and run it later. Okay, next thing we want to draw is to draw let's say a pie chart. So we want to draw a pie chart of this species, and then automatically, so from color palette, we want from color palette and the default color color selection. So you see, so it gives you an idea of what. So Virginica is more is high. I think Vesicola is high too, but this one doesn't really give a, I mean, they are pretty much similar. So you can also draw a box plot for any of the two of these, and then by species, and then you can just, you see, now you have three different box plot. Okay, so we have I just separate this. So for the box plot we have this, and I think this, I don't know if this works. So we have color. Let's see, you have this, 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 and this you want to see red, blue, and then you have green. Okay, let's see. So we want to color each of those box plot differently. So let's just highlight this and submit. So let's see if it works. It didn't. So these and these and these. So we have expected point. Okay, pretty much we'll face that much later. So we will work on that much later. So that's it. That's it. So you can do some other testing. You can linear hypothesis. You can draw graphs for your residuals, basic diagnostic plot for your, this is for petal length and species, so it tells you information. Or you can have a distribution, negative binomial distribution, quantize, sample, plot, negative binomial distribution. Number of successes is this, probability mass function or distribution mass function. So your probability mass function for this, the number of trials is this, and then the probability of success. You can do the same thing for negative binomial by plot. So let's plot distribution function. So this is a distribution function of negative binomial. So I mean, there's a lot of things you can actually do here. You can do your model. So you can, if you have a model, you can do model selection. You can compare both models. If you have more than one, you can compare which one has more power than the other. You can do a scatter plot. Let's do a scatter plot by group of the length, petal length by sepal length by the group, which is the species. So now we have, you see, there's a lot you can do. Then you can customize your plot. What else should we do? Just think about anything. You can do anything or virtually everything that you have here. So I want to draw a 3D plot. That 3D plot of these. Pick two variables. Theta width on this, and I want only length. I want my group to be species, and I want to say okay. So you see, oh, now it has crashed. Okay, so anyway, you saw it, so it's a little interesting to I told you that one of those downsides is that once it does something that is very intense, it crashes. Yeah, but it's a good point to start liking R. I mean, actually loving R. Okay, so I'll start a new session and should be able to come back to where we were, except that I will have to rerun those programs again. Okay, so so far we have done a lot, so we should limit it to that. So I hope that this tutorial kind of excites you, and I want to get you started again in R. Okay, so R is fun to play. I mean, to really play with. Okay, R is fun. R is fun. So so another thing we can just do very briefly before I go is okay, let me just comment this out. Comment all this out. To comment all this out, I'll just highlight whatever I want to comment in bulk, multiple lines. Just say Control Shift C. See, it comments it out. If I want to uncomment a lot of many lines, just Control Shift C. The same thing. Okay, same things works for both. So that's it. That's it for today. So for instance, I don't need to do all this anymore, so I can just comment all this out. So yes, so remember we started from just general introduction to setting your working directory, which is your folder where you actually, okay, now it has changed. So so our working directory has changed. So to introducing you to some of these tabs, we have the plot tab here, we have the package, how to install package. If you yearn for help, just yell for help here. So there's nothing that is too big for her to handle in that case. So just yell for help. Type whatever you want here and then press enter. Here, remember to save. When you save, it becomes inactive, so it means it is saved. And here is where you run. And this place is where you actually visualize, you see whatever is going on. That's your workspace. Here you import your data. Depending on your data set, you can just say import, go to the file where the folder and where the data is, and then import it. So that's all we have to say today. I look forward to having you more in our journey in R2. So first, please subscribe to our channel. Subscribe, okay? Subscribe. Don't just watch and feel, oh, this one is good and this. Just subscribe to our channel. It helps us. It helps you too, okay? Subscribe to our channel. Also invite your friends to also do the same. Advertise it. Share the videos. I want you to share it. Like the video. Just like it, okay? Like the video, and also click on the notification button to always so that whenever we upload new videos, you will be one of the first people to see it. Okay, you can watch them and keep enjoying our video. So I see you in the next video. Enjoy yourself while you play with